Hello there, and welcome to beautiful sunny Sweden in December. Yikes. I just finished watching GCN's new video where Sai is riding fixed gear for 30 days on his commute to and from work, as someone who has not been riding a lot of fixed gear before. According to himself, I'm not the judge here. And as someone who rides fixed gear almost exclusively, I really enjoyed it. I think it was super fun to get the perspective of someone who doesn't normally ride fixed gear when they ride fixed gear. So thank you so much for making the video. I've been looking forward to seeing it since you made the build-up video on GCN Tech. My name is Addvurt. I've been riding fixed gear almost exclusively for the last 4 years. I do ride bikes with gears or single speed bikes that are not fixed, but that is not my preference. I want to ride fixed gear on all occasions. And obviously, that's not for everyone. I recognize that I am a very small minority in the cycling world. And even within the fixed gear community, I might be somewhat of an outlier. We'll get to that later. I think it was really cool that you decided to try something that you haven't before. Trying new things can be very scary. And I think you did well in committing. I think the biggest mistake was to ride fixed gear on your commute, where I believe that the best way to ride fixie, in the way that I do it, because maybe the best way to ride fixie is on a velodrome, I don't know. But for me, the best way to ride fixie is to just go out and ride with no goal or destination, and enjoy the feeling of the fixed gear bike, the directness. I like to compare it to how I used to ride longboards. It's just about getting around in a way that feels nice and enjoyable. I'm not trying to be the fastest, although I do enjoy speed, but it's more about the simplicity and the connectedness to the vehicle, if longboards are called vehicle. And I think that's really the big thing. You enjoy the feeling. I enjoy the zen of it, I enjoy the minimalism, I enjoy the additional difficulty and control. Or maybe lack of control, I'm not sure how to describe it. But there is a certain thing about giving up the comfort of the freewheel and instead adding the speed modulation that you can apply with only your legs. I enjoy the push that the bike gives me. Instead of coasting, it forces me to keep pedaling. It's a feedback loop that's addictive. But fixed gear does not make me faster or more efficient. It just adds fun, in my case. So that's what I wish you would have tried, instead of seeing if fixed gear could improve your commute. That wasn't exactly the premise. Can fixed gear improve my commute? But that's where you wrote it. That is not, in my opinion, where fixed gear excels. And you're comparing it to how you've been riding before with your road bike with gears. And I feel like when you have such a from A to B ride, a very functional situation where you want to get something done, you're better off riding with gears, like usually, because you have a goal in mind. When I ride fixed gear, I don't. Almost never. I'm out on my fixie right now, and just like you, Sai, I have brakes. You talked a lot about using brakes on your fixed gear bike. And maybe I'm an outlier in the fixed gear community. I don't really know. But having handbrakes on your fixed gear does not in any way impact the fixed gear. And you know that. It's a pretty crazy status quo, if you ask me, that people think you shouldn't have handbrakes. And having the handbrakes certainly doesn't mean using them, because that does take the fun out of the fixed gear. They're just there for backup and legality, I suppose, depending on where you live. And in my opinion, the looks. I actually prefer the look of a bike with brake handles on the hoods. You can get like specific fixed gear handlebars that are drop bars with little bit of fake hoods for your hand position. That's really cool as well. But I don't know, I just really enjoy the look of the traditional road handlebars, even though I also prefer the look of a fixed gear drivetrain. Sort of a Frankenstein situation there. But yeah, handbrakes are good to have, but boring to use. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I think that the best way to experience fixed gear is to go out on rides with no goal, no destination, and just enjoy the feeling of the ride. And yeah, you said so yourself, that you might go on some rides, some just for fun. After this challenge, I think that's what you should do for sure. I also have a recommendation. If you feel like you're still searching for the core of fixie fun, perhaps try wide bars. I like drop bars, I like wide bars. They both have their place. Different bikes for different days. Having wide bars when you're still getting used to fixed gear, it gives you so much leverage, so much control. Riding uphill is a lot easier. Using wide handlebars will of course have a dramatic impact on your riding position. You will be much more upright compared to drop bars, which will make you less aerodynamic. But once again, speed is not the main point here. Enjoyment is. And when you're upright, you have a much clearer view of the world around you, which is pretty important for fixie riding, since one of the fun parts is trying to maintain your momentum, since you don't want to start over from standstill with a high gear ratio. And you see more than your front tire, which might be what you're seeing if you're in the drop bars. So that's a strong recommendation for anyone who's getting into fixed gear. I hope you keep riding yours. I hope you keep inspiring people to try fixie. It's not actually as crazy of a step as people might think. I'm real happy you did it now. Keep spreading the fixie love. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.